Hey guys, welcome to Sketch Today. This is actually a pre-recorded segment. I got some questions from you guys and I love your questions. So if you have additional questions or comments, be sure to comment on the video below. But more importantly, join me for my live streams. We go live mostly daily here on the channel, so you'll want to subscribe and turn on alerts. Today's segment is about how to create simple shadows. So we're going to cover cubes first, and then in the follow-up video, we'll be covering round objects, spheres, and that kind of thing. So tune in, get ready, and we're going to start drawing, all right? Thanks again, and I'll see you guys later at the end of the video here for quick follow-up. So I'm using my rough stencil. Let's just start with something like a simple box. I'm not calling it a cube because I don't want you to hold me to the exact proportion here, but let's start with a box like this. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead, I guess since this is digital, I can do some fun stuff here. So on a new layer, let's determine where our light is. All right, so in determining where our light is, okay, I need to think of a few things. This is gonna feel weird since it's the same shape, top or bottom. So I'll have to label this. This is the top. Here's the front. All right. When I say front, here's my eye looking at this cube, right? Or box. Okay, I'm going to shrink this just a little bit. You'll see why in just a sec. So I'm going to shrink this. All right. So there I've got this box. Now I get to decide, okay, if I have a light somewhere in the scene, I can determine its elevation, right? So I can figure out what is the elevation of the light. How high is it up off the ground? Take a chill pill. We're all humans. Yes, Seisman, I was drawing cars yesterday. The actual file, so the Procreate file is available through my Patreon. And then the recording is on YouTube. So if you just want to catch the 2-hour recording or hour and a half, that's available on YouTube and Instagram actually as well, archived. All right, so I have to decide what my elevation is, but also I have to determine, okay, where is the light in relation to the object, right? Which of, let's just say I had 3, 3, 6, 8. Let's say I just had 8 positions here. Which position is the light in? Is the light here, right? Is it here? Is it here? I get to decide that, right? Which position. So that's important to realize, is that as the illustrator, you are in control of the position of that light. Okay, so now I'm going to jump to this new layer. So let's say, much like this illustration, the light is off toward this side of the cube. Actually, I'm going to pick this one right here. So I'll scribble that out. So let's say the light is off to the side here, and I get to decide how high, right? So I'm going to put my light bulb right here. Now, if you have a point light source, it's important to recognize, you know, if this were a lamp or something, here's the base of the lamp. Okay, and here's the center of that light source. So as I project these lines, hey Tom, and this is where I'll use a quick line to help me. Well, maybe I won't. Hello lines. Transportation drawing for today is a box. No, I'm answering a question on some lighting. Someone asked about light and shadows on a simple object, so I'm going to do that first. Then I'm going to do a unicycle, and then I'll start my quick painting that I've been meaning to start of a vehicle. All right, so that's the plan for today. Got a question in. Hello, Stephania, Tom, Lines, Julio, hello. Okay, so here, now I need to do a couple of things. I need to take a look at these points, right? These 8 points on my cube, the top and the bottom. And that's gonna form my, the basis for my shadow. Okay, so this is a point light source. Let's remember that. Let me make sure I'm on the right layer. Okay, we can turn that on or off. Cool. So point light source. So now from the base, I'm going to project through all these points, right? I was going to use the quick line tool, but why use that, right? when we don't need to. All right, so we're getting some funky stuff with this point here, where we've got two lines slightly diverging from each other, but I'll show you anyways. If this light were slightly moved, the shadow would move as well, but let's just continue. Now I want to go from this center of this bulb, okay, all the way through each of these points. So through here, okay, just like that. So we'll have a point somewhere here. We'll go through this point as well, and make sure that you're intersecting, okay, at the right spot, somewhere there. And then this one, right, I need to go through this corner, somewhere here. And I don't believe, well, let's see. Okay. There we go. We'll go through this point on the front as well. So now we've gone through the top 4 points, okay, like so. And we have 4 points like so. So essentially what we're doing is we're projecting the top of this cube or box. We're projecting the top here, this top shape, and finding that, whoa, we have this really weird shape that's projected down, okay? And now all you have to do is connect the corners like so. So because of the position light, like I said, there's this weird little spot on this side, but if you're able to move the light to a more favorable position, this is how we calculate the shadow, okay? Let's assume, I hope this is all sealed up. I guess I'll just hatch it. We'll just hatch it. So then you can just shade this in like so. And that is our shadow. All right. So if the light source were moved slightly, I'll do another example. Let's have our light source here. And I'll do these in green. So let's have the light source moved to here. I'm also keeping the light source fairly close, okay, to my cube because I don't want to run out of space. It's just something I know and understand. They'll run out of space. Ali Design UK is asking, what affordable markers would you recommend for under $20? Probably Bianyo or Ohuhu. You can find that using the link sketchaday.com/stuff, or there's a little sidebar that says resources on the webpage. Hello, Mecha Art. This is how to add a shadow to a gerbil. Just kidding. Okay, so now I'll go through these points just the same, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, we're on a new layer. And this is creating the shadow with some simple shapes. However, you could do this with a more complex shape as well. So certainly not outside of the realm of what you can do using this technique. Okay, just changing the music up because I don't know. I've been getting a few copyright strikes, and I don't want to run into any trouble. Shout out again to Paul Sohi for sorry, I just got a couple reminders here for the music. All right, so now we'll go through this point like so, and look at this line. We kind of have this triangle, so there's a point right there. Okay, now I can go through this edge right there all the way out. Also, the higher up the light, the less what's the word, long or far out the shadow will be. Somewhere there, and then I can go through this point. Right, I want to track where this intersection is happening right there, and we can go through this point as well. Now that corner of this shadow in particular is within the bounds of what my main shadow would be, so I just basically need to create this outline like so, and I get this really funky distorted shadow shape. So when you're dealing with a point light source, you're dealing with divergent lines. Okay, if you're going to be dealing with some divergent lines happening on your shape. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Hello, Matthias. Thanks, Tom. Let's see. A fun sketch would be the one-man band from Mary Poppins, like a bike with an entire set of instruments. Yeah, that would be fun. I would need to look at reference for that though to get it right, since I'm not a musician. Can't pull that one out of nowhere. Okay. Sorry, I hate when my phone does this thing. Okay, there we go. Now I can see you Instagrammers. Again, if you want the full stream with the full output, I've pinned the link there. That's where you want to be, youtube.com/sketchaday.com. It just works better on the iPad if you do that. All right. So that's a divergent shadow. So now let me show you the difference. We'll turn that layer off. We'll turn this layer off. The difference with a sunlight shadow now is that with a sunlight shadow, I still have to determine where the light is. However, the sun essentially is a point light source. It's still a point light source, right? It's just that it's so far away that the spread of those lines is barely noticeable. Okay, so think about it like that. It's barely noticeable. Stephanie is asking, how do I do that with something spherical when there are no corners? Okay, I can show you that. This will be the shadow show. All right, so with the sun, instead of coming from the point, remember the point is far, far away. So instead of coming from the point, I just assume that these lines are all parallel. So I would project parallel lines through my corners like so, okay? And then I just determine, okay, where's the sun in relation to everything else? Where am I landing here? Okay, and so I can just pick a random direction and just draw parallel lines from the base of each of these points. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now where these intersections happen, right? I'm gonna have an let's do a different color for these intersections. I'll do blue. So I have one intersection there. Okay, look at this line. Where's the top corner and this projection happening? Cool. This is for that back edge, so I've got a point here, and then for this corner I've got a point there now. So all I have to do is connect these like so. And that is going to be my shadow. So we had a great question from Stephania. What do you do with round objects? How do you get the shadow of a round object? All right, that's a good question. So if I have something of, let's say, I'll just do a cylinder, or do you want to see specifically a sphere? Let me know. Do you want to see a sphere specifically or a cylinder? I mean, the sphere and cylinder are somewhat similar. A stream of shadows coming soon. Welcome to the shadow show. I think it's important, if you're gonna draw stuff, you have to understand how stuff works. Like, you can pretend and fake a lot of stuff. So someone who draws really good figures is because they've studied the human body and they're always constantly observing. Okay, let's do a sphere. They're constantly observing real life, things in real life. So it's important to keep your eyes open. Draw from observation so you can draw from imagination. All right, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe, hit like, all that good stuff. Tell your friends, your mama, your kids, your wife about Sketchaday. If you love drawing, this is the place to be. So thanks for being a part of this, and I'll see you guys next time on the next live stream, right? On Sketchaday.